Ooh, it's good, Commanders fans, and happy hump day. Um, this is basically a injury update video, and then I do want to take a quick look at the Dallas Cowboys and just some of their stats. Honestly, a preview video for the Cowboys is going to be very, very simple. I mean, their defense is bad. Our defense is bad. Our offense is functional and good. We have a top 5 rush offense. I think we still have a top 5 rush offense. We were number 1 at one point. Probably went down after the Bears game. We have a top 10, top 5 quarterback in Jaden Daniels, and then Dak is playing like it is what it is. He's playing like a top 5 quarterback. Like, you got to call a spade a spade. Yes, they're losing games, but he's playing at a high level. Dak is just a loser, so it is what it is. With him, like he can put up 1,000 yards or 5. He can throw for 400 yards in a game and still lose or tie. It's not all his fault. Because their defense is so bad. But we've seen this for years and years and years with Dak Prescott, where he'll put up 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and 1 interception or no picks and still lose. Or they'll win a bunch of regular season games, go 12-5, 13-4, have a bunch of all pros and Pro Bowlers and lose in the first round. So we've seen Dak many times with the same story, same song and dance. All right, so let's get to the injury report. I just want to see how much passing yards allowed is Dallas giving up, because they're like bottom 5 in rush yards allowed. No, I'm all over the place right now, but pass yards allowed, they're 32nd. The Cowboys are 32nd in pass yards allowed, and they are 29th in rush yards allowed. I get it. With the Bears, they were the worst rush defense in the NFL. We couldn't run the football effectively against them. So, honestly, like I said, you look at the numbers, you look at the stats, you saw what they gave up to Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle did whatever he felt like doing to the Cowboys. He had 182 rushing yards. 182, that's crazy. He almost had 200 rushing yards against the Cowboys in one game. I know it was a revenge game, but still, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how bad they are, and Matt Eberflus is their defensive coordinator. All right, so let's get to the main point of the video. Noah Brown was placed on IR, and this could be the last you see of Noah Brown. Now, let's look at the schedule here and how many games we have left, because we're 3-3, so you have 11 games left. So he could be back for the how many games would be left when he comes back? 3 + 3 is 6, + 4 is 10. So he could come back with 7 games left. He could, and still have an impact. Like I said, at this point, I kind of rather just see Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane get his target share or snaps. I'd rather see Jalen Lane develop. He had a nice double move against the Bears. Luke McCaffrey was wide open again, had a nice touchdown and a kick return or 2. And I kind of just at this point would rather see those guys develop, with hopefully Terry coming back. Now, on the bright side, Terry was limited in practice. He is going to practice per Dan Quinn this week. So the arrow is pointing up, as Dan Quinn usually says. That's the one positive I can say from the injury report. Dorrance Armstrong was a DNP. That's not good news at all. John Bates, DNP, not good news at all. Well, there was rest, so he should be fine. No, yeah, exact rest, DNP. Drake Jackson. Now, let me say this once again about Noah Brown. I'm just going to say, hey, Noah, thank you for your services. Thank you for causing the pass interferences last year. Thank you for the Hail Mary. You will always go down in history for that. But it looks like the time has come to part ways with Noah Brown. Like I said, you never know. He could come back with those 6 games left in the season and be impactful. But who's to say that he won't be ready then after the next 4 games, knowing this guy? This guy was out there running routes last week, and he's still not ready. The groin injury is still bothering him. He's still not ready to play. Last year, he had the mysterious, or I'm not going to say mysterious, he had the appendix injury or whatever it was, and then he barely made it through minicamp. He was carted off the field. They didn't want to disclose the injury, and then he went and did the autographs and everything, and still came back not ready to play or practice on a limited basis. So yeah, enough is enough with Noah. Like I said, I thank you for his services. I thank you for the Hail Mary and causing pass interferences and Jaden Daniels locking into him frequently last year. But his time has come, and we got to move on. We have to draft a receiver in the first 2 rounds, not 3, first 2 rounds. One or the other, in my opinion, one or the other. And still bring Debo back. And Debo's injured with a heel injury. That's why we're bringing in Treylon Burks. But let's get a shout out to today's sponsor, Brunt. Shout out to Brunt, man. Get y'all these brunch boots. I'm telling you guys, man. Look at the bottom too. They're really nice as well. Nice traction. Everything easy to clean. Get you guys some Brunt boots. Let's get a quick word from today's sponsor, Brunt. Shout out to today's sponsor, Brunt Workwear. Want to give you guys a great deal. Promo code Oliver for $10 off of these nice work boots from Brunt Workwear. So these are size 15, so they do have shoes for the big fellas like myself here. It comes in this really nice box here too. This is the size 15 that it came in. So, I mean, these are great for working, not just for working, but you know how the DMV gets down, the DC gets down. They love the brunch scene, so these are nice brunch boots as well. You know it's going to snow a lot this winter, so for shoveling snow, if you're a blue-collar guy, an electrician, plumber, construction, doing drywall, flooring, whatever you may have you, what kind of work you got to do, these are very, very comfortable. They come in black as well. These are the Omen 6-foot soft toe Brunt Workwear boot. So, I mean, these are easy to clean too. Easier to clean too. They got the butter color as well, which I really, really like. So check these out on brunt.com. Promo code Oliver for $10 off when you use promo code Oliver. So Brunt, you got to check them out. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up, so they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt when you use code Oliver at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com. Use code Oliver and you're good to go. And after your order, they'll ask where you heard about Brunt. Do us a favor and tell them it was from me, from your guy at Oliver. Check out Brunt. Use promo code Oliver for $10 off Brunt Workwear boots. They have other apparel on there too that you guys can check out, like hats and different things like that. But they have these really, really nice boots. I would recommend these in black or in the butter color to look good for brunch or going out or getting work done. Shoveling snow, get ready for the winter, guys. DMV winter is nothing to play with. All right, guys, let's get back to the video. Once again, shout out to Brunt, man. I got my big steppers right here, size 15. Get it done. Brunch, if you want to get work done, whether you're an electrician, handyman, home improvement, Tim Allen kind of guy, at home getting stuff done, these are the boots for you. Shoveling snow, whatever, what have you, anything blue collar, anything tough that you need to get done, wear these boots, especially for the wintertime. For sure, I'm telling you, especially for the wintertime and the fall time that we're in right now. All right, Javon Kinlaw, DNP rest, Von Miller rest, of course, Jerome Payne rest, of course, Chris Rodriguez calf injury, DNP, you might have to pull up Donovan Edwards or Chase Edmonds, one of those guys. Larry Tunzel rest, Bobby Wagner rest, the Unction, the AARP crew with the rest. Terry McLaurin quad limited, Sam Cosmi knee full participant. That's good news. I think Sam Cosmi will play this week. Jaden Daniels knee for full participant, and John Jones hamstring full participant. His 21-day window has opened, which is good news for John Jones. We need cornerback depth badly. Antonio Hamilton only played one snap. Other than that, all the corners played like 99% to 100% of the snaps against the Bears. Marshawn Lattimore played every snap. I think Mikey almost played every snap. Trey Amos almost played every snap. Like nobody really got a break. Noah I barely played. He barely got a percentage of the snaps. Like if you look at the snap count, Noah I barely played against the Bears. But yeah, that's it for the injury report. Like I said, good news for Terry McLaurin. Noah Brown, we know who he is. And then Drake Jackson, what I will say about Drake Jackson is that the fact that he's not ready to play is odd to me. Like the defensive ends that were available, I get it. There's not a lot of defensive ends available. But you couldn't sign a defensive end that could help you immediately. Like, you know Dorrance Armstrong's not ready to go, but you sign a guy that's not ready to go either? Like, that doesn't make much sense to me at all. Like, I'm a big Adam Peters fan. I'm not going to badge him or, give him a bad grade or whatever because of this signing. But goodness gracious, like, we are desperate for bodies at this point at the defensive end spot, especially if Dorrance can't go and you bring in a guy off a patellar tendon injury that's not ready to go either. That makes zero sense to me. And I get it, he's a former Niner. But goodness gracious, you couldn't get somebody who could run and move and suit up. You couldn't do that. I mean, goodness gracious, like let's see who the defensive ends. Shaq Barrett. I mean, I'd rather have him than somebody who can't play. And DeMarcus Walker, not too familiar with him. Yannick Ngakoue. I probably would have bought him in. Even Casey Toohill can set the edge a little bit, rather than having somebody that can't play. We already have enough guys that can't play. Why bring in another? I get it. If you want to have him and ramp him up for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like we did the same with Preston Smith, you should have just played Preston Smith when he was here. But I mean, we still won the game anyway against the whenever we played him. I think we won the game when we signed him, but we just didn't have him active for whatever reason. They should have had him active. But like bringing a guy that can play, especially if Dorrance can't play. Look at the defensive ends that we have that we're going to be throwing out there on Sunday in Dallas, because we're going to get cooked on defense. It is what it is. Like, I'm going to call a spade. Like I said, like we're going to get cooked. We're going to be cooking them too. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a Texas Hold'em shootout. That's why I said the preview is really not going to be complex. It doesn't need to be complex. The game plan doesn't need to be complex. The coaches are going to say, they're not going to be honest, of course, but as fans, we're going to be honest. Yeah. Adrian Broner style. The defense is going to get cooked. They're going to get cooked. But like I said, Jaden's going to be cooking them too. Terry's going to be cooking them. Luke McCaffrey, Jalen Lane, and Bill, and whoever is going to be the backup running back, Jerry McNichols. Their defense is so bad. Our defense is bad too. It's going to be a Texas Hold'em, America's game of the week, 40-37, 37-34, something like that type of shootout. That's what it's going to be. Drake Jackson, he may play though. I'm not going to get too worked up over. He may play. I'm looking at the depth chart right now. He's not questionable, but they did say he's working his way back from the injury. That's why it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me to bring a guy who's hurt, who can't help you. Von Miller, Jacob Martin. So the DEs right now, if Dorrance can't play and this guy Drake Jackson can't play, the defensive ends you have right now is Von Miller, Jacob Martin, Jalen Holmes, Dietrich Wise on IR, Javonte John Baptiste on IR. You have 3 defensive ends. Preston Smith, 4. You have 4 defensive ends that can suit up and play on Sunday. That's it. And then I don't even know who's on the practice squad who's a defensive end, because we didn't even bring in that many. We didn't draft a defensive end. We didn't bring any really young talent at the defensive end position. So, but yeah, like I said, the Cowboys defense is historically bad. Matt Eberflus is terrible. They don't match up well against the offensive line. Like if you go 12 personnel and put a couple of tight ends out there, you're going to be successful running the football. It's going to be a smash. You gotta get him on the ground. You can get him on the ground through the air too. Like Trayvon Diggs is bad this year. Deron Bland has been good. Donovan Wilson has been good. Their linebackers have not been good. Kenneth Murray, other guys. Their defensive line has not been good. They just have not been good. Just like our defense has kind of been Jekyll and Hyde. It's like one good week, one bad week, one good week, one bad week. Marshawn Lattimore, one good week, one bad week. That's what it's been for our defense. Can this be the week where our defense shows up? I doubt it. CeeDee Lamb's supposed to come back. And even if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play, they would be fine, because George Pickens has been on a darn tear, and Javonte Williams has been on a darn tear. So this is a coin flip pick'em game. It is. It really is. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. You guys let me know how you feel about the handling of the defensive end position. If I'm out of pocket, let me know. It is what it is. We'll talk in the comments. But I'll leave it up here, man. And we got to beat them in Jerry World. This is a must-win game for sure. It's a must-win game. It's a must-win game. This isn't any stats that I had, but I'll probably leave some of the other stats for the preview. I'll probably do the preview tomorrow. Like I said, it's a simple cut and dry preview. It's not complex. The game plan really is not complex. All right, guys. As always, Healthy Commanders. Peace.